It's been 3 days now since the presidential elections were postponed in Nigeria. While the electoral body has now fixed February the 23rd for the election, the big question is whether the controversial shift in the election date could impact voter turnout on election day. CGTN's Deji Badmus reports.
It's one shift in election that many Nigerians are still finding it difficult to come to terms with. While this is not the first time presidential elections would be delayed in the country, this one is actually not what many had bargained for.
The people that they travel home, some of them borrow money to travel. So are you telling me that they will come back, then they'll start going back this Saturday again for voting?
Indeed, many voters travel to their hometowns and places where they registered to vote in the election. Going back again could be a problem. To help address that problem, one of the petroleum marketers' unions in the country have asked their members to slash petrol prices by 5 naira between February 20th and 25th to motivate those who would be traveling again for the election to do so. Some of the local commercial airlines in the country have also followed suit, giving out heavily discounted fare for those traveling to vote. It's something that's never happened before.
It would help to drive up voters turnout because you recall I said earlier on that people have expended resources. If I've expended, say, XY amount of money to get to somewhere first time and I have to repeat the exercise because it's a national duty and somebody is telling me that, no, take out I will bear the Y for you, you bear only the X. It will, in a way, it will motivate me that, no, somebody is trying to ensure that I perform my civic responsibility. So it's a morale booster.
Now, judging from similar situations in the past when general elections were postponed, there is a chance turnout for the coming election may be affected. Let's quickly take a look now at the following slides. Before the 2011 general election was postponed, many had projected a high voter turnout because of the high number of registered voters for that year. But following the postponement of the election, only 53.68% eventually turned out to vote on the rescheduled election date. We saw the same situation in 2015. Everyone was prepared for the scheduled date of the election when it was suddenly shifted. On the rescheduled date of the election, only 43.65% of course, the registered voters turned out on election day to vote. So here we are now in 2019 with another postponed election. Now, before the shift, the general forecast had been that of a huge turnout because of the 84,004,084 registered persons now to vote for this election. But with the dramatic postponement, it now remains a question of wait and see what the turnout would be this time around. Deji Badmus, CGTN, Lagos, Nigeria.